Hey, everybody. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
You're back.
I am back. I mean, but it's weird because you had planned to do two streams while I was on vacation.
Yes,
And
but
you ended
only
up
did
only
one.
doing one because you blew out the power for your whole attic.
Yeah, it was not cool. I kind of explained it last week, but I don't know if I really told you too much about it. It was just a real stupid situation. But everything is okay now, and I feel like everything's running better than it was.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's a stupid situation, but I mean, you got a professional electrician to handle it. So in the end, it probably turned out for the best.
Right. Exactly. That's true. That is true. So, where did you go?
I went out west. That's kind of I went out just family vacation. Me and my parents. We went mainly kind of Utah, western Colorado, a little bit of Arizona, New Mexico. We like going out west. I like deserts because it's not humid.
Mm-hmm.
So we went places like mainly kind of like national parks out there, like Arches,
Where
places like
Indiana
that.
Jones was?
Yeah,
Last
it
Crusade?
is National Park, Canyonland. Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. This was actually our third time going to Arches. I feel like it's a place that, like, I mean, you saw one of the pictures had a lot of people in it, but I feel like a lot of people, especially back east, don't even know that place exists. It's like it's unbelievable. It's actually our third time there. Um, I mean, it's just these crazy, like, natural arch formations in a relatively small area. It's just, I just think it's the most geologically fascinating place I've ever been. I just love it, and I love taking pictures there. It's awesome. But yeah, we just went places like that. I did stop at a couple of game stores on our one on our kind of on our way out, and one on our way back. I stopped at one in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Really?
Uh,
I didn't know you even stopped at one on the way out. I just thought you stopped at that one in Arizona.
no, that was New Mexico. On the way out,
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
stopped.
yeah. That's what I
It
said.
was called, what was it called? I think it was called like Gamers Planet, Gamers with a Z.
Yeah.
I think it was called Planet
In, in,
Gamers
in my
Planet.
in my hometown, there's a place now called Gamers Haven with a Z. Gamers with a Z.
And it was an interesting store. They had this was in Grand Junction, Colorado. Just passing through. But whenever my parents are like they want to go to like an antique store, my dad's like, well, you should look up and see if there's any retro stores. So I'm like, yeah. um, so they had like a lot of Super Nintendo games there, but a number of them were clearly reproductions. Like, and I think they were marked as such, but I felt like the prices weren't that great on a lot of that stuff. But kind of a funny story about that. I've got my pile of stuff that I bought. I ended up just grabbing a couple of PS2 games. I want to bolster up my PS2 stores a bit as I'm kind of preparing to go into the PS2 RGB episode. Um, and so I just got just a couple of piddly things, just Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2, and Soul Calibur 2. Because I really there's this thing I really want to do in the PS2 episode where I want to like just have like a comparison of Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube, Xbox, and PS2. Like I feel like it's a good game to do like a three-way like of this generation comparison,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And two, I played the Ratchet and Clank trilogy on PS3, and I just wanted the PS2 versions. But anyway, I got those there. Now on the way back, stopped at a store in uh, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and well, actually, funny story about the store in Grand Junction. I actually took off the shelf Greatest Hits Silent Hill 2, which
So
I
you've been
wanted
after it for a
because
little while.
I have been. I mean, I haven't been, I keep forgetting to look for it, but I've been meaning to look for it because I really liked the first Silent Hill and wanted to play the second one, which I think is kind of the fan favorite. And but the greatest hits version, the greatest hits PS2 version, has the bonus content from the Xbox version, but the Xbox version, according to Digital Foundry, is not a particularly good port. So I found Silent Hill 2 Greatest Hits at the store in Grand Junction, and it was $30. I thought, that feels like more than I expected that game to be. And I looked it up on eBay, and it's like, well, that's actually not a bad price. Like, there were several, like 30, 40, maybe even 50 for the Greatest Hits version. I was like, wow. So I thought, well, I'll get this. The guy couldn't find the disc. You know how a lot of stores like keep the discs like behind the counter, which I feel like is kind of an outdated concept at this point. But he couldn't find it. He could not find it. So I was kind of bummed out by that because like that was like I kind of felt like that was my find. You know, the other three games were just kind of like whatever. I could buy those anywhere. That was like my find, and he couldn't find. So that was a bit of a bummer. Well, so anyway, I stopped at this store in Albuquerque. They've got these two retro stores in Albuquerque. I stopped at the newer one. We didn't have time to go to both, or I didn't have money to go to both. But they're called Gamers Anonymous. That's Gamers with an S. Oh. Gamers Anonymous. But the other one is called Super Gamers Anonymous. That was the one that I went to.
Yeah, that's like, pretty cool.
It's got the super and like the super.
As long as it doesn't have the like, I feel like the gamers with a Z, like this means that it's something not right about it. Yeah, I don't trust it.
So anyway, this was Super Gamers Anonymous, and it was a pretty neat store, and I was more impressed by it. And I got Complete Castle of Illusion.
Nice.
Which I know you'll be happy about.
It's a great game. It is a really, really good game.
And
you have no problem beating that either, like in a night.
I mean, you think it's pretty easy? Does it have limited continues?
It does, but it's pretty. I think it does, but it's pretty. It's pretty easy.
I got Dark Cloud 2, which is something I've been meaning to pick up again because I had this.
I've been kind of pestering you about it.
Yeah, I had it a long time ago, and I didn't really give it a fair shot. I thought because at the time I was like very anti-randomized dungeons and stuff like that. But I think I'm more accepting of that kind of thing now. So I want to give it a fair shot. But what surprised me was last time I was kind of thinking about getting this game was maybe 2 years ago, and it was like $40 to $50.
Yeah.
And I got this for $18. I thought this is a crazy deal.
The PS4 re-release brought it down a lot.
Well, that's what I'm thinking because I thought that must be a crazy deal. I didn't even look up online when I saw this $18. Like, and it's complete. And it's in like really good shape. It's even got like the remains of the seal that goes on the top of the thing. It's like really good shape. So I'm like, I can't pass that up. And then I looked at it afterwards. It looks like it goes for like 20 to 25 on eBay nowadays. So I get, I always thought that that modern releases like the PS4 emulation that they released or Virtual Console, I always thought that shouldn't have an impact on retro prices because people who want to play on the original system are going to buy it on the original system anyway.
Right.
Or collectors or whatever. I always thought it shouldn't have that much of an impact. And even though people say that, I bet this is going to drive down the price, I'm thinking, nah. But in this case, it must have. That's got to be what drove this price down because it's down across the board. But I mean, that's great. You can get Dark Cloud 2 for $18. A couple of years ago, it was 50.
Right.
That's great. I got this is kind of random. Like I was like, this is a sealed copy of Eco for $25. Well, I buy that for $25.
And it's a 240p game. It's one of the very few.
I know. Well, I was really, again, I used to have this. I went through this phase where I sold stuff that I shouldn't have. I sold it because I had the PS3 remaster.
Yeah.
And but now that I'm getting ready to do the episode, I'm like, I really want this because it's 240p. That's something I got to demonstrate, blah, blah. And I saw this a brand new copy of Eco for $25. And guess what? I'm freaking going to open it. Sorry. This game has been waiting to be played for like 15 years?
Like 17 years at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a long time.
Yeah.
So you know what, Eco, you're not going to just go sit on a collector's shelf. You are going to be played. I also grabbed. I mean, I don't even know if this is really that good of a deal, but I mean, a brand new PS1 memory card for $10. Like, I don't even know. Maybe that's not that great of a deal. Maybe it's fine. I don't know, but I just like when I see stuff like that, like I want to get it because it's just like it just feels like it's a good thing to have for safety.
Yeah.
You know, and the best thing of all, Silent Hill 2 for greatest hits for 25 or not 25, $20. So it was $10 less than the store in Grand Junction. They couldn't even find it. So now the funny thing is, this store on the flip side, I tried to get We Love Katamari, and
they couldn't find it.
They couldn't find it. It was $10. I said it's not that big of a deal, but it was funny. That's never happened to me before, where like they couldn't find the disc.
Yeah. That's a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, so I'm real excited to have the Silent Hill 2. And I did grab one more thing, but I'm not going to show what it is because I grabbed it exclusively to use in an episode that I'm going to keep on the download for now. I don't want to reveal all my secrets. It was a Super Nintendo game. I saw that. Oh, I also got some.
Is it some magazines or like
some Nintendo Powers? Yeah, I don't know if this is a good deal either, but they had a ton of Nintendo Powers that were $3 each.
Yeah, that's what I did when we were in LA. I was like, oh, they got like some old EGMs. Like that's something like if anybody is like getting rid of like early 90s to mid 90s gaming magazines
or late 80s.
Yeah, or late 80s. Pretty much like yeah, I mean, we love to like show that kind of stuff on camera.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like it's good research materials. I mean, research materials as well as just showing.
Yeah.
Showing stuff in kind of a different context, you know. And showing artwork that you might not have access to in another way.
Right.
So this Donkey Kong one, I remember. And I haven't gone through them yet, but I want to. This Donkey Kong one, I remember reading this in the library when I was in 5th grade, and it has like Super Game Boy stuff in it and stuff. And I just remember looking at it and just being like, man, this like playing Game Boy games on your TV. That's so crazy. I didn't have a Super Nintendo yet. I think I got one that Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember reading that. I just grabbed a few that had covers of games that I like. You know, Donkey Kong 94, got Wario Land. Back of this one has this like cool picture of Ganon. I don't know if you can see that.
That's cool. It's like the classic design.
The blue Ganon. Got Yoshi's Island.
It's good stuff.
Mario Kart. So this one's a bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to look through these. I don't know exactly when this one is. This has like a preview of Mario RPG and N64 in it.
That's great.
So,
that's great.
Yeah, it says Newsflash, Nintendo 64.
To get that hot news from it.
Yeah. Then Donkey Kong Country. I almost grabbed a Donkey Kong Country 2 one, but it wasn't in very good shape. And I almost grabbed a Donkey Kong Country 3 one, which is actually my oldest Nintendo Power that I own as a subscriber. But my first 2 issues of Nintendo Power, I just like poured over them so much that the covers are gone.
That's great though. I mean, it's nice to see them well used like that.
Yeah, I thought like, you know, I could get this Donkey Kong Country 3 one, but it's like the one with the cover tore off. That's mine, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that's kind of a long recap. And I brought my Game Boy Advance SP AGS 101.
Is your Soul system that you played the entire time?
Not my Soul system. I played my Vita yesterday. I played through all of Persona 4 Dancing All Night yesterday, which took all the way from somewhere in Arkansas to my parents' house in South Carolina, and I still had to play for about another hour after I got home. It took a little longer than I thought it would. But other than that, I played Final Fantasy Legend. I played that like the first day and a half on the way out. I played Ganbare Goemon, something Dynamite Sawaru. I don't know what the full title of the game is. It's a Game Boy Color Goemon platformer that very rarely comes up on eBay. It was good. It was really easy and really short, but it was good. And then like while we were out there, like I didn't even play very much while we were out there, mostly kind of on the long rides out and back. I started Mega Man Battle Network, and then I finished that on the way back. And then I played on my Vita Persona 4 Dancing. I brought several others, but I started Lolo on the European import of Adventures of Lolo for Game Boy. I started that, but it didn't feel like a good travel game because it gets very hard very quickly, and I was needing to look up a lot of help. And it wasn't going well. So I'll tackle that a little bit more later. But yeah, Mega Man Battle Network, it was good, but there's obvious room for improvement. I asked on Twitter, like, does the dungeon crawling get any better? Because the battle system is awesome, but the dungeon crawling is just really bad. The impression I'm getting from people is that I should play Battle Network 2, and then the series like peaks at 3. Like apparently 3 is the best one, and then after that, don't play 4, 5, and 6. Take them or leave them. But it sounds like 2 and 3 are worth the play.
Yeah. I'm gonna we'll continue talking about I just gonna get started with the game. I feel like
let's go.
So this is something that I've been kind of like waiting for you to get back to play.
Yeah.
This is Curse Castilla. It was developed by one person.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it got a physical release through Play Asia, and they did, I think, 2,800 copies or something like that.
Is it still available? I'm going to look now.
It's not.
Oh, bummer.
It was like a limited edition. It comes like in a box, and it comes with a soundtrack, like a full soundtrack. It's like 50 some tracks.
But I'm going to feel real bad about this after watching the stream.
You might, but
it's good.
It is very much, it's very much based on like Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins. I'd say that it's almost more similar to Ghosts and Goblins than Ghouls and Ghosts. It's it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I played through the first level. It's pretty tough. Although I've seen people say they beat it in 2 hours.
That might be when you know what you're doing.
Right. It's very, very arcade based. I mean, it's cool. It's like it has several different video modes, like scan lines built in. It seems like the music is like done with like older hardware too.
Okay.
And what I think is kind of interesting about it is that the game is 4:3, a 4:3 aspect. That's
cool. So it makes it easy for you to work in the stream format.
Yeah, and like the main character you play as is named Don Ramiro. I think it's pretty cool. But it's very, very inspired by it's like exactly like Ghosts and Goblins.
But I feel like the environments from what I've seen in videos looks more like Castlevania to me.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't played very far. I mean, it has a lot of it has like the gameplay elements of Ghouls and Ghosts where you can shoot up and shoot down. There's no like extra armor or anything like that. It's all you just have hit points instead.
I saw when you tweeted that it was awesome that the developer said thank you.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not see that. I missed it.
I think it was the developer.
So you always have like the sword, like the throwing swords. Like you don't get stuck with a weapon if you like, if you pick up something you don't like, because every time you die, you pick up, you start over with like the sword weapon. Okay. So I don't know if that's like a good thing, like maybe, or a bad thing.
I mean, it's good that you always have that basic weapon, and then you get an alternate weapon.
Right. I mean, obviously the game is beatable with this, but when you see the like the weapon pickups, it's just it scrolls through them. Like you can, like it switches, so you can pick what you want essentially.
Now how is the scaling of the game?
I think it looks
non-integer funniness going on.
No, I think it looks perfect. Honestly, I do not see any of the no shimmering or anything.
We're being asked what were our thoughts on E3. Do we want to get into it or not?
Oh, sure.
I mean, this was kind of weird because I was on vacation during E3.
It was you did not plan it like that.
No, I mean, I normally end up getting vacation kind of. I don't know. It just wasn't really on my mind this year, like to be concerned about, like, oh, it might happen during E3. But I was able to watch most of the important stuff live. I did have to wait until late in the evening to watch Nintendo. It's something that a lot of people don't realize. There are significant expanses out west where you're not going to be getting service, or at least not service that you can do anything online with. So yeah, I was. I mean, of course, we were busy doing things. So I was able to watch Microsoft live and Sony live. Nintendo I had to watch late in the evening. I didn't get to watch any of the third parties live. I thought it was overall a somewhat tame year, especially in terms of like Microsoft and Sony. Mm-hmm. Considering I don't have an Xbox One at all, like, I have been planning on getting the Scorpio, now Xbox One X. The price does not surprise me at all. I mean, given the amount of power that they were putting into it, I mean, that is wholly unsurprising, I feel. I mean, it's less than a lot of graphics cards upgrades, that's for sure. I mean, it is impressive what they put into that for $500. I think. And I do see myself, getting major multi-platform games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and, things like that. I do see myself getting even though I've been, primarily a PlayStation guy, mm-hmm. In terms of HD consoles. I mean, I'm always a Nintendo guy first and foremost, but Nintendo is now kind of in their own bubble.
Right.
I've always been a PlayStation guy more so than an Xbox guy, but I do see myself buying, with the Xbox One X, I do see myself using it as my main multi-platform system for, for the foreseeable future when that comes around. But aside from that, I mean, there wasn't a lot to get excited about, I think, in terms of like exclusives or anything like that. But then again, up to this point in the generation, Sony's been pretty tame with exclusives too, I think. I mean, certainly compared to the PS3 generation, I feel like Sony was on fire in terms of first-party development in the PS3 generation. This generation, I feel like they've been a little lax because they just took off like immediately, But there's a lot of cool stuff, I think, on the Sony front. I think God of War looks awesome. Like, I'm actually legitimately excited about it,
and we were like both kind of over God of War.
I was really over God of War. Like, I liked it. Like, my favorite thing about it was that it's just this really over-the-top, big representation of Greek mythology. And, you know, it's kind of violent and horrible, which, let's face it, Greek mythology kind of is.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was just a very interesting representation of it. I never liked Kratos as a character, but I liked the things that happened around him. I thought were interesting. But I was just, you know, really over it, I think, by the end of the PS3 generation. I enjoyed it, but I couldn't see myself getting excited about another. And I always had imagined, like, after God of War 3, when we thought that was, like, the end, like, I think a lot of people had envisioned, like, oh, what if they did Norse mythology?
Right.
I was certainly imagining that, because personally, I like Norse mythology more than Greek mythology. I feel like God of War was a fantastic trip down Greek mythology lane, but Norse mythology is just inherently better. So I was actually really surprised last E3 when they pulled that out. It's like, wow, that is kind of interesting. And you know, they just showed more of it this year, and I just think it looks really good. Like, not only is it a totally different style, Kratos is might be a likable character now. And
yeah, I mean, we've always like disliked him pretty intensely,
yeah,
I think.
And the gameplay
Is
completely different and looks like something I can get really excited about. So that is amazing to see the transformation that series is taking. You know what stood out to me in the trailer that they showed at the conference is I'm sure there's like regular blood in it, but the thing that stood out to me is like the enemies appear to be like based around certain elements, and I'm assuming you probably have to do like conflicting elements. But like they were bleeding like neon blue and orange, like blood. Like I thought that was kind of cool. It was like different looking. Like, it's just, they're going in a very, very different direction with it, and I'm excited about that. The biggest surprise at Sony conference was full-on Shadow of the Colossus remake by Bluepoint.
Yeah.
Which is, like, really cool to see Bluepoint doing, I mean,
I think it's going to have the same code base, they're just, like, redoing all the assets.
I think so. I mean, I think it's going to be...
which is good. I mean, Bluepoint's...
It's like a remaster, but it's like beyond any remaster that's been done before.
Right. I think that's what's going to essentially happen.
Yeah, so it's cool to see Bluepoint like really like I almost wonder if they were the ones that were like, we want to do this because they thought it might prove to other developers that maybe they could push remakes or remasters further than has been done before. I mean, just absolutely stunning.
I got a special item that gives me a double, like a Super Ghouls and Ghosts style double jump.
Oh, is it just a temporary item?
Yeah.
It looks cool though. Trying to think of what else. I'm excited about the Chloe Uncharted.
I mean that's like definitely a day one for me.
I
guess
actually comes out the day before my birthday. This windmill level, isn't this a lot like the Genesis Ghouls and Ghosts? Isn't there a level like this in that?
Oh, oops, I lost my double jump. No, well, kind of. Yeah, there's something like that. Very much. Oh,
I mean, I guess that's kind of based on the arcade version, isn't it? The only game that I really know very well is the Super Nintendo one.
So what do you think about this so far?
I mean, it looks awesome. You loving it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, of course, I would say with E3, I mean, Nintendo definitely got me the most excited. I mean, I'll admit I'm a little biased. I mean, I can't help it. Nintendo just makes the stuff I like the most.
Darn it.
But, I mean, I thought it was awesome what they had to show off. I mean, just the fact that they announced Metroid Prime 4 is... I mean, that's huge. I mean, who would have expected that?
Right. Well,
Like,
I mean, I think a lot of people were hoping for it. I mean, it's one of those things that people have been
for
hoping.
it, but I mean, I thought they were pretty over it. But I mean, Mario Odyssey looks awesome. Like, I didn't really look at a lot of anything outside of the Nintendo Direct presentation because I kind of want to go into it relatively blind. But I mean, I love the idea of using your hat to become, other enemies.
Yeah.
And I haven't read anything really, but all of the headlines are basically, Mario Odyssey is completely bonkers and we love it. Like, people are saying this is like the wildest Mario.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I'm in this place now where if I know that I'm gonna get something, like, I just have no problem not looking at anything about it.
Yeah, I
watched the trailer for Mario Odyssey during the Direct, and I did not watch anything else about it.
Yeah, basically for the most part, the only hype stuff I really watch are the big presentations and press conferences. Up until releases, I'm good at knowing what I want, and I like going into a game relatively blind. I like being surprised by it,
Right.
So I think too a lot of things too. I'm so busy with the channel and all that kind of stuff these days that it's I just take my games as they come. It's not like I need this game now because I've got so much else to play and so much else to do,
Right.
But when it comes out, I'm gonna be excited about.
I gotta get that chicken leg. It's close.
I think in terms of non-Nintendo games that are coming out, that's still actually coming out this year. I'm kind of excited. I think Wolfenstein 2 looks awesome. I really liked Wolfenstein: The New Blood. Or wait, what was it? New Order, Old Blood. Oh, I liked New Order much more than Old Blood.
Whoops. I just like when you die, it just says RIP.
Oh, Adam Zay is asking thoughts on XCOM Mario, aka Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is what I've been telling everyone, and I've been seeing similar sentiments online. I'm mad that game looks legitimately really good. I do not want a Rabbids game, but it looks good. So I haven't quite come to terms with that yet. We'll see how I'm feeling in August. See, the thing is, Nintendo games never get price drops. Basically, never.
I got being careless here.
At the very least, you can't count on Nintendo games getting price drops. They're going to be $60 forever.
Yeah.
Back when they were $50, they were
you think that's
going to be $50 forever. So, well, I don't think the fact that Ubisoft is going to have an impact on that. But it could. I don't think so, though. But, kind of what I've been trying to do with PS4 games is, I'm trying to not buy them until I am ready to play them. Or if there's just a crazy good deal and it's I don't think it's going to get lower than this. Or, in some cases I might be afraid of something becoming rare and I will get it. But for the most part, the big AAA stuff, I'm trying to wait, for the price to go down to $30, even $25 and $20. I'm trying to wait before buying it because most of the time, unless I just have time to play it when it comes out and I really, really am hyped to play it right away. Mm-hmm. But in the case of Nintendo, I've just been buying them right away because
it doesn't matter. You can get the discount. The prime discount.
You get the Prime day one or first 2 weeks discount. Though the first 2 weeks I've found lately can be risky because there have even been some The Last Guardian. You could only get the Prime discount if you pre-ordered it because I thought I thought you could it was sold out for weeks afterwards. So sometimes you lose your opportunity to get that. But yeah, with Nintendo games, the cheapest you're realistically going to be able to almost ever get it is with Prime day one discount. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So we'll see. You know, come what was this later August? I think that it's releasing. We'll see how I'm feeling about Mario Rabbids XCOM whatever. But yeah, it looks really good. I've never played an XCOM game. I know that they're really popular. I think I played a demo of the one that released last generation. You know, I do enjoy sort of that, you know, tactics style games.
Yeah, I have the not the Enemy Unknown, the one after that, the XCOM.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what it's called, like the expansion, but it has like the entire original in it.
You know, there was this whole segment of, I think it was Microsoft's conference about this PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds,
Which is like apparently like really hugely popular. Like
Yeah,
like Game Dave told me about it last week that it's like this big deal. I've never even heard of it.
I never heard of it either. You know, I think a similar thing happened with, I think it was World of Tanks. I think was shown at I think it was Microsoft's conference, and there was like, ooh, this is a big deal. Like everyone on PC is playing World of Tanks. Never heard of it. Like a lot of these sort of independent, massive, I don't know if I want to say massively multiplayer, but these like massive, like millions of players PC competitive games, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Apparently it's like a huge deal. I'd never heard of that.
You think that makes people like trust our opinion less, probably, on things? You ever think about that? Like oh, they have no idea what this game is. Like they obviously don't.
I mean, I think that would only be like an issue maybe with like younger multiplayer hungry people that would. I'm not saying that older people wouldn't play those games, but I'm just saying that it would probably only be younger people that would be like, oh, I can't trust these guys' opinions. I mean, you know, we all like big into like the you know the competitive multiplayer sort of game scene. And I don't think we pretend to be.
Right. So unlike Ghouls and Ghosts, you kind of have a little bit of control of your direction in the air. Once you jump, it's not like a complete commitment.
Does that help, you would say?
Oh man. Is this you think this is the boss level? It's yeah, well. It could be. I don't know. Like it's hard to tell. Like this seems like not as hard.
A number of people have complimented my Stars shirt. And the reason I'm wearing this shirt is because I was recording my segments for the Saturn RGB episode, and it's the closest thing I have to a shirt that would be relevant for the Saturn episode.
I was telling Trier before the stream started that, you know, like I'm working on the Saturn RGB, and I'm just like having a really hard time like getting into a groove because I had all this time set aside. What?
Other things kept getting in your way.
Yeah, just like freelance jobs that, you know, like just kind of popped up out of nowhere that I can't say no to. But it's moving along.
I mean, it sounds like it is. I mean, you know, with an RGB episode, you know, in some of the more like complicated B-roll heavy segments, like I'm lucky if I get through 3 minutes of it in a day.
Right.
You know, I mean, it can be time consuming for sure. Yeah, I was, you know, I had made the that Super UFO episode before I went on vacation, and we kind of just held it, unsure whether we would release it while I was on vacation or
because if Night Trap had happened already. Like that was like our follow-up episode.
Right, and that's exactly what happened. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're still like, I mean, I'm really hoping for Night Trap this week. Like, I feel like such a broken record saying it every single week, but I mean, like, it's like
it needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm just I don't know if I said this like out loud. Like, I'm just like in this, like, I think another reason I'm having such a hard time getting into Saturn is because like I have this episode that I'm just like super proud of and I can't wait for people to see, and I just like I need this sense of closure with it.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you mean. That makes so much sense.
And once it gets out there and people like, I see the reaction to it, and then I can be like, all right, I'm ready to move on to this next thing and just like really like focus in on it. But I would love to release it this week while we're at Too Many Games.
That'd be great. So, but you still need footage from the latest build, so it has to be ready.
Which ideally would be amazing if I could get that tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see. But
because I want to at least. So here's my thing. The thing I'm most afraid of is that I won't have footage for the latest build, so I can't like finish it. So it's just like sitting on our channel, like waiting to be released for when we have the go ahead to do it. I'm just like afraid that I won't have that, and then we'll get the go ahead while we're at Too Many Games, and we won't be able to do anything about it. And essentially, I'll just have to like wait until we get back, and then still do like the last little bit with it.
Well, I mean, you know, it'll be what it is. I mean, it'll get out there. People are gonna love it no matter when it comes out. So
yeah.
But it's happening soon. I really do hope that we can release it this week, though, because if not, then we're going to be a little bit behind getting something out because, you know, obviously I just got back from vacation, so I'm not prepared with anything else. Though
we're going a day early so that we're going to go stay with Game Dave again, and we're going to shoot a little something while we're there.
Yeah, which should be easy to edit. I think it's going to be an episode I think it's going to be a little different episode. Sort of like the Game Boy display shelves episode was a little different. But it's going to be a little different from that. It's going to be longer, but it's still going to be easy to put together. You know, so hopefully if we can't release Night Trap, I can get that done pretty quickly. And then at some point in July, I'm really going to start preparing to do the PS2 RGB episode. So Saturn and PS2 will not be too far apart.
So this must have multiple endings because it just said, you know, like if you use more than 4 continues, then it's going to be at the cost of your soul.
Interesting.
So there's probably multiple endings. Somebody said like, hey, that's Coury's favorite anime? Like, what's my favorite anime? I'm wondering what people are saying my favorite anime is.
But I was surprised by the generally positive reaction to the UFO video. I expected a lot more negativity than there was. Just because, I mean, it's a device that a lot of people don't like. It's got a lot of limitations, but you know, it generally got a pretty good response. You know, I put a lot of time in, you know, talking to Artemio and HD Retrovision guys and Voltar, you know, because you know they're the kind of guys that understand how this stuff works and were able to help me sort of put it through its paces in a way that, you know, with an understanding of what to look out for that I didn't necessarily have. And it took a while to get to the root of all that. And part of the reason the episode was as long as it was because, you know, I just kind of felt like there's not a lot of there's so much conflicting information out there, and so much of it's just forum hearsay. And I thought, I want to put something out with, the information that these guys helped me figure out, and I, have tested and confirmed and verified as working and true. And this can not only be a sort of a review of the UFO, but also a guide of sorts for it. So, if you got bored in the second half of that video, that believe me, that was something that I totally understood would happen. That part of the video is only relevant if you think you might actually buy one,
right,
or you have one. And there were several people who responded saying, I've had this device for a few years, but I haven't really used it in a long time because I didn't really understand how to use it. So now I'm really interested in getting into it again.
Gosh darn it.
So, and now something else that I want to look at, and I kind of felt bad about this because we thought we were going to originally do multiple like non-EverDrive flash cards in the EverDrive episode. So I've had my hands on the 64 drive, which you briefly see in the beginning of the UFO episode. And I need to get to that sometime soon as well. And I'm really excited about that because it also has a ROM dumper that works with it. And I'm really...
People love that you, like, how much you use the word dump. People were, like, really, really into it.
I kind of expected
Everyone's just
that.
like, dump.
You're like, I hate it when I have a bad dump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected a lot of comments like that. But yeah, I'm like really interested in the whole concept of easy.
We really you missed
hardware.
a big opportunity to use at the dump in it.
I
Could have had Dave say it.
I did kind of think of it. But yeah, so I really want to get to the 64 drive soon too. I feel like aside from if we need to do some quicker episodes, I will do some quicker episodes. It just kind of depends on how our schedule shakes out. But like my current priorities for technical episodes right now are PS2 RGB and 64 drive.
Right.
Those are my priorities right now. But there will be some shorter ones in between just because that's how the schedule's going to shake out. And and then hopefully after Night Trap releases, we'll start trying to schedule another documentary or two.
Yeah.
That's what we want to be getting into.
Oh gee! Oh come on! Crazy Quixote. So close. This is one of those games where, like, you ever feel like this when you're kind of playing like a challenging game, and you think like eventually I'm gonna have to fight the last boss, and it's gonna be really hard. You spend a lot of time thinking about what the last boss is gonna be like.
I mean, I had a I was telling you I was playing Mega Man Battle Network over vacation, and I got to Proto Man, and I just could not figure him out. And so I looked up a little information, and the guides didn't give a lot of help because they're like, oh, Proto Man is just such a pushover. They didn't really explain what to do. And eventually I got him down, but there was like this brief time where I'm thinking, I'm not that close to the end. I mean, I'm getting there, but like, I thought there was going to be a boss rush because, Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, there's going to be a boss rush, and then the final boss is probably going to be really hard. And unfortunately, I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I came to my senses. I got Proto Man down. There turned out to be no boss rush. And the final boss was not that bad. It was a little tricky because there's kind of a point of no return where you have to fight the second to last boss and the last boss without saving. So that got a little annoying. But it overall was not that hard of a game, except I used some maps that I got online for some dungeons because the dungeon crawling in some of the later dungeons is just obnoxious. There's like a lot of like invisible paths and crap like that. I'm hoping that's better in Battle Network 2 and 3. I'm hoping that's better because people are saying that they do improve over the first game.
Must be the Swamp of Sorrows level.
Yeah, this does look familiar style.
Look on eBay to see what this is going for now.
Oh, okay. You know, I saw. I did see at one of the game stores. I forget what it was. I saw a limited run release. I think it was Ping Adventures.
Oh yeah.
But they weren't selling it for like anything like super crazy outrageous.
Yeah, they were kind of tweeting about it the other day about how like a lot of their releases are not going for very much anymore.
Castilla EX PS4. Oh, it's looking like 180-ish.
Really?
Yeah. Too bad I didn't get it.
Only reason I even knew about it is because my friend Steve. Thanks, Steve, for telling me about it. Who was in town for when we had my friend's bachelor party in Louisville. He was like, "Oh, do you see that PlayAsia is doing like a limited release of this Ghouls and Ghosts looking game?" So immediately I was like, "What?" So like I didn't even know about it at all, but thanks to him.
So PlayAsia like actually handled like purchasing the printing of this?
Yeah, I mean them and East Asia Soft, I think. East Asia Soft, because it says on the title screen it's like PS4 physical version by East Asia Soft.
And I know that Limited Run has done another number of East Asia Soft games as well. And didn't I think maybe it was what's it called?
Man, this is some tough jumping right here.
What was that Vita shmup game? I'm drawing a blank on it.
Oh, Soldner.
Yeah. Soldner X2. Didn't East Asia Soft get another run of that?
Yes, they did a second print run. So maybe that'll happen with this.
Was that through PlayAsia as well?
Yes.
Because I know they sold it there.
It was. Yep, that's where they sold it.
Yeah, and I guess GameStop kind of is doing their thing kind of with the Game Trust
right
thing. What game was it? I played something. That booted up with a Game Trust logo. I don't think it was a physical release. What was it?
Man, this is tough. It's like the game is pretty was manageable. Like, come on.
I wonder if there's anywhere you can pick up.
It counts how many. Jump. So it doesn't like you have unlimited continues, but it tells you how many continues you've used. So that's kind of a cool. See, I think that if I do this fast enough, I can get into a zone with it.
You know, something I saw at one of those stores. Of course, I don't think this is very uncommon, but something I saw at one of those stores I was at on my trip was a Game Boy Game Genie.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Oh, really? I thought about it.
I forgot that I even had it until.
I used to have one as a kid. It's what I love about it is it's got like the little hatch on the back that has like the little itty bitty code book on it.
Oh, maybe.
Do you not have the code book?
No.
Oh man, that's the best part. it's like this wee little itty bitty book. It's like thick, but it's small. But
I did it.
I used to have one. But anyway, I saw one. I thought about it, but I thought, I'm spending too much money already. But I feel like someone commented, or maybe a couple of people comment on the Game Boy episode.
Oh my gosh. Wait for that on stream and watch what happens to me. It's like I got so lucky right there. I have to do this all again. Man. I thought I was finished. I got the bolas as my weapons now. It's pretty cool.
But
there we go.
Anyways, I feel like someone commented on on the Game Boy video about something that the Game Genie could let you do. Like, I think because it's like a different shape, you could connect something that you normally couldn't connect. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even the Game Genie. I don't know, but just something told me that I was like, there was something like, oh, that's interesting that I want to get a Game Boy Game Genie for. But I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
Man, that was a tough little section. I'm fighting a giant turtle. I got a crystal ball. I don't know what the crystal ball does. The thing I like is, like, if you make it through a scene and you continue, you don't have to, you start there.
Yeah. Those balls that turtle is shooting like big contra shots at you.
Man.
It's like 16-bit era contra shots.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it looks and feels like an arcade game, which is really what they go after. You know, making it such a score-based game. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they make you play it through twice.
Oh, that'd be mean.
I got him.
He
turns into a little turtle.
Did any Ghouls and Ghosts game make you do that, though, other than Super?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They all do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts make you do it. Because you play through and you have to get, like, the special weapon.
The only one I finished is the Super Nintendo one. It's the only one I put much time into.
You should definitely get the Genesis one.
That's it. People are saying you can play Kirby Tilt and Tumble on a Game Boy Advance SP with a Game Shark.
Oh.
Or a Game Genie. Or that wouldn't work. If you were playing like a regular Game Boy, if you were playing with a regular Game Boy Game Genie on a Game Boy Advance with a Game Boy Color cartridge, would it pass the Game Boy Color game through?
You're talking in the chat, right?
Yeah, but regardless, maybe I don't know if it was the Game Boy Game Genie that would work. I don't know if that would work. Like if it would pass a Game Boy Color game through. But regardless, yes, you can use some sort of device to essentially make it so you can play a. Okay, so the Game Shark goes the other way.
Yeah.
The Game Shark is like reversed. So you can play Kirby Tilt and Tumble on an SP, which would be amazing, because that game's actually really good. Like, I did not expect that game to be that good, but it actually is. But it's just such a pain to play it on an unlit screen. Yeah. That would be awesome.
This is a fascinating boss. It's like not even attacking me, but it's like you have to kill him in a certain amount of time before the ceiling gets you. Ah!
Oh wait, that imp that was helping you the whole level is the boss now?
Yeah, he's like, you fell into my trap. And then the ceiling starts coming down.
His name is Boo. Oh man, that looks tough but manageable.
Yeah, I almost got him the first time. One more, come on. Got him.
Whew. Speaking of Kirby, like maybe the most exciting thing, like maybe the most exciting.
Oh, geez.
Announcement. Hmm?
There's another boss, the Forgotten Souls.
Man. Maybe the most exciting announcement, newly announced game of E3 may have been Kirby for the Switch. That's right up my alley.
I wonder if I get to start there. I do. See, it's this game is fair but generous. I mean, is tough but generous.
The Kirby announcement was Kirby platformer, in the style of Superstar. And
Do you really feel like Kirby is going through like another golden age right now?
Kirby is in a golden age right now, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, to me, like I've always been a big Kirby fan, but Superstar for the Super Nintendo was just so far above and beyond any Kirby game that had come before it. And part of it, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's the template for Smash Brothers because it's got, it's got the block for one, the block ability, and just the way that you execute moves. Like each power, rather than just having one thing, maybe two things that those powers can occasionally do in games like Adventure and Dreamland 2. Superstar has these more sort of nuanced move sets and just a wide array of cool things that you can do with every single power. And then all the Kirby games that came after that, Dreamland 3, 64, good games, but why they didn't just expand on the Superstar formula, I do not understand. And then all of a sudden, so many years later, we get Return to Dreamland on the Wii, and it brings back the Superstar style controls. And that was all that Kirby games had needed to do for the past, previous 2 decades. And at the time, it might have been a decade and a half. I don't know. But, I mean, so they brought that back, and then Triple Deluxe on 3DS. I think a lot of people didn't like that one that much, but, I mean, to me, it was pretty much equally as good. And then you've got Planet Robobot, which people really did love, and that one's just, like, thematically so cool. You've got, the sort of the robot theme. And you just recently finished that, and the final boss is like a trip in that.
Yeah, I mean, it turns into like a rail shooter.
Yeah, well, but not just, you didn't really understand what was so. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't finished Planet Robobot. You should play it because it's only like a 6-hour game. But like the end of that is like a treat for Superstar fans. And it's good. It's good. But I mean, the Kirby games, they right now, like they've got the music is on point. The controls are just like Superstar. We are in a Kirby golden age. It's amazing. It's amazing. These are good times. Good times in Dreamland. And I liked, I like a lot of the sort of crazier, weirder Kirby games too. I was a little disappointed by Rainbow Curse. I really liked Canvas Curse on the DS, and Rainbow Curse had great music, great graphics, but I thought it was just weird that it didn't have powers. Like overall, probably I would say the level design was at least as good, if not better, than Canvas Curse. But the fact that there was no powers was just weird. And I like the original Kirby's Dream Land without the powers. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that inherently. But it just seemed like a weird thing to exclude. It just felt like the game was a step back from Canvas Curse. But I like the weirder Kirby games. Those are fine and well and good too. But at the end of the day, the platformers are what I truly, truly love, and so I'm excited to see a new console Kirby platformer.
Yeah,
Big deal.
I'm really glad that it's not a portable one as well.
Well, it's sort of a portable,
but not. It's
not. Yeah, I'm psyched. I'm excited about the Yoshi game, but a little.
Did you know, John Linneman told me that that's done with Unreal 4. Yoshi is.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's out left field. Is Goodfield behind it? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Because I really like their games. Goodfield. I know that Kirby's Epic Yarn is, kind of a love it or hate it game for a lot of people. Or maybe
I think more people just dislike it because it's kind of easy.
You can't die.
Yeah.
But it's a fun exploration game.
Oh, come on.
And at the end of the day, Kirby games aren't really difficult anyway.
Right.
But they're fun. And I think for Epic Yarn, it's a collecting. What made that game was 100%ing that. Collecting everything in Epic Yarn was what really made that game.
Did you
fun.
complete it? Did you do everything?
Yeah.
That was back when you used to complete every game that you played or something like that.
Well, I wouldn't say I completed every game I played, but I certainly took the time to 100% more often than I do now.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the channel, I'd probably still be doing that. But,
yeah. Sometimes I feel like we're rushing through everything as fast as we can.
But yeah, I really like that game. I loved Yoshi's Woolly World. That felt like the first follow-up to Yoshi's Island that really made something all of the Artoon follow-ups to Yoshi's Island. They all felt like they just wanted to recreate Yoshi's Island, but they made a acceptable but soulless sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Or sequels. Whereas Yoshi's Woolly World, it is again more of the same, but it also it's got its own soul to it. It feels like it finally does something special with that formula in a way that hadn't been done since '95. I feel. So I thought it was an excellent, finally a true, real, legitimately awesome sequel to Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, it was great. My daughter loves to play it. She talks always she's like, can we play the Yoshi games? I should really just get it for on her 3DS.
Yeah. But the new game though, I couldn't get a sense of the pace of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
From the video, part of me, I get a little nervous because I think back to Super Paper Mario, which I feel like the pace of that game was really hindered by the fact that you were every square inch you were checking, okay, you know, I'm looking in the 3D world now. Now I'm looking in the 2D world, and you're just like constantly flipping between views. I think that was Super Paper Mario, right?
I have Super Paper Mario. I haven't played it. When I
think
finish with
that
the
was-
Saturn episode, I'm just gonna like focus on just like beating some games for a while.
You went through a good phase of that not too long ago.
It's longer ago than it seems. I promise you that. It was like February.
When you do that, you know what we should do? We should co-op Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris.
Yes.
We
should do that on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been sitting on that for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have said that wasn't as good as the other one, Lara Croft and the Temple of Light or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's not as good, but I mean, you know, whatever. It's the one we ended up getting.
Yeah.
We really need to play that.
Agreed.
But yeah, stuff. Yeah. So the Yoshi game, or I like I said, I think it was Super Paper Mario. There was one Paper Mario game where you were like constantly flipping
Come on.
between like one view and another view, and I felt like I was just like constantly like checking back and forth. Is there something here? Is there, you know? And it just like kind of ruined like the pace of the game. I'm a little worried that the Yoshi game could end up that way, but hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say.
Like that was one thing.
Who even knows? It doesn't even have a name.
Yeah.
That's what I think is so weird. Like when these games are announced and it's just like Yoshi.
Yoshi 2018.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Kirby game has like any sort of like thematic hook. Like, you know, Robobot was like the only one that really had like a thematic hook, you know, of the new Kirby games. I mean, they're all excellent, but, you know, Robobot is like kind of on another level just because it's got like the whole robot thing going for it. And there's also a lot of like musical motifs that are used throughout it that are really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it uses the one song that I used in the Everdrive episode.
Oh, yeah. But like it's original.
Come on.
It's original motif that it uses. Like they use it in all sorts of different contexts. Like they've got for
what
like they've got for like the bright and happy outside levels.
Do I have to like open the gate someplace else?
Oh no. Will we ever do a follow-up episode to the OSSC going over features of recent firmwares? That's definitely something I think we would like to do.
Yeah, I think, you know...
Part of the problem right now, like for me, I just don't have like a TV that accepts like anything the OSSC
I mean, mine does. Mine accepts everything. My Samsung does.
Like, I want to do more stuff on the OSSC, but I'm just kind of stuck with it until I get a new TV, which I'm hoping will be accepting of it. Like my TV accepts like the low level package of what the OSSC can do, which is 480p on non-NES, non-Super Nintendo systems. I can't do crap with the OSSC, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, that's something I think we're definitely going to do. It's just a matter of... what's going to happen is, like, I feel this way at least, is, like, we just need to, like, find that groove again and just, like, be cranking out episodes.
Yeah, I mean,
we've been really bad. I mean, not, like, intentionally, and...
I feel like the delays on the Night Trap episode kind of caught us off guard. And I think for both of us, I think feel that there's just not that sense of closure, even though that episode is your baby. But I mean, you know, we both made this big effort and this big trip.
There it is. I got the key.
there's this lack of closure on that episode.
Because we want to see, because it could mean stuff for us too.
Right, and we're so excited about, just going on to our next opportunities for documentaries. But we've like got lots of ideas that we think we can do, but we're waiting for the Night Trap episode to go out there before we like pitch these ideas. Like we want to be able to show this like crazy awesome thing we did and be like, hey, here's an example of, I mean, we've got other examples, but like this is on another level.
Yes.
And we want to be able to just say, hey, here's an example of what we do. We want to do
because I guess
a documentary on your some of your past work.
Yes.
And we think like we're confident about getting those, but we're holding out, and we're just so excited about that right now. And I feel like I just like can't like visualize like where until we get that Night Trap episode out. Like I just can't visualize like what's next.
Right.
It's hard for me too. Does anyone know if Boy and His Blob on the Wii is any good? I had that. I didn't like it as much as I had hoped I would, but it was good. I should get it again. I kind of got rid of that in my dumb phase of getting rid of stuff, but it was good. Not one of my more favorite Way Forward games, but it was good.
Man, I might. I beat that boss without getting hit.
Wow. Good job.
It didn't give me the cross though. It makes me think that there's. Oh, it was not the end of the end of the level.
Uh-oh.
Darn it. I thought maybe that was the end of the level. It's not.
Reggie B. Cable is asking if anyone's played Nier Automata yet, or
oh my gosh, I want to play it so bad.
I know, me too.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't have it yet. I mean, again, that's I'm trying to hold off on buying games that I don't think are going to become rare or anything. Just wait for the price to go down. If I know I'm not going to have time to play right away, I really
right. That's exactly it. That's like if we don't have time to play it, then
you may as well wait for the price to go down.
Right. Yeah, I mean that'll probably be at some point. Like if it was like $30, I'd definitely like jump on it like immediately probably. I mean I'm just excited to play it in general, but. Ooh, the double jump boots, thanks. Thank goodness.
Oh. How do you feel about not having that as just like a standard part of your arsenal?
It doesn't bother me at all. I think it'd be cool if it was like a unlockable to like.
Maybe, like after you beat the game, maybe you can choose like what your always on item is.
Maybe. Oh man. I'm fighting a caterpillar. I don't know where it is.
Well, wait a second. I just noticed that I didn't realize this before. Like you don't always have the. I thought you always had the dagger, but you
no. When you pick up another item, yes, but you get your daggers back if you die.
Right. Okay.
So you don't get stuck with like.
Notice that just now.
I guess it's so you don't get like stuck with an item that is really terrible.
Is like one item on one button and one on another?
No, it's a 2-button game.
So how do you change between the items?
Oh, you don't change between any items. The secondary slot is like other items, like that blue fairy thing that I've.
Okay, gotcha.
take it that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I guess I should have been fighting this thing the whole time.
The boss is just called Caterpillar.
Yeah. Come on.
I can't believe how good this game looks for like being a one-man production.
Yeah. Apparently he does like a bunch of stuff like this.
You know, that physical Switch release of Cave Story Plus is coming out like
Tuesday.
Extremely this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to have that game physically.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I need to update my 8-bit Do controllers so I can use them on the Switch, because that's like great.
Oh, that's a great way to use it. Yes.
There's like a I was thinking about it, there's like some things that have kind of snuck up on me, like releasing in July, like Final Fantasy 12 comes out.
Yeah.
July, Splatoon 2. Which I'm actually pretty excited about that. I was kind of thinking, well, I'm doing the PS2 episode. Maybe I should play into Final Fantasy 12 a ways.
I'm excited to revisit it.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I'll have to see where my backlog is, but I would love to play. I guess it's the Zodiac Brave version. Like, I'm kind of nervous about. I'm a little nervous about how I don't know if you're forced to use like the job, the sort of like preset job categories.
I don't know.
With this version or not, like, because I like it in theory, but I've got this thing with Final Fantasy 12 where the character I directly control is what I term my so-called white mage.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you move in Final Fantasy 12, you recover MP faster. So I want to be able to control the person who is healing people. And I always give what I term my white mage a ranged weapon so that they can continue to attack while healing and recovering MP. And I'm concerned. I mean, it would make sense. They should let you use a white mage with a bow, because that's what Final Fantasy IV is all about. But I don't know. I'm concerned that I will not be able to play as a white mage with a bow. And it might totally ruin my groove.
Man, this is intense. Die. Ah, no! Almost had him.
I think you're like, in some cases, you're like turning away just a bit too soon. Like when you could have got one more hit on him.
Is this gonna be it?
I'm feeling it.
Me too. Whew. Come on, it's not giving me the cross. What is going on? Is there another boss? This level is so long. What's going on?
Well, but at least you got continues.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you can always continue. Maybe this is the last level.
No. 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 Come on. I'm not even halfway through the map that it shows you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know if you can continue? If you don't finish tonight?
Yes. Yes, you can start from the level you're on. I was once the king of Castilla. But look at me now. I've got this. Look at how God paid his servant. He's like got a golden axe. Whoa! Proceed with your quest. Oh, so I didn't get killed there. So maybe that's like a good thing. Maybe it's like a one-hit kill type thing. Oh yeah, you gave it to me. Interesting. For the ones who walked before me. This game's cool. It's really cool. No, see, I'm like chapter 6, the aqueduct. There's got to be a sewer level.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that I wish I could like remove from all games forever, it'd be sewer levels. Especially like in RPGs.
Why? Just because they're just so drab, or
yeah, they're never fun.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, there's got to be a good example of a sewer level. I mean, you can't have Ninja Turtles without sewers.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about like, I guess like RPGs are like the main thing I'm talking about.
Yeah. And two, they're like a very poor representation of sewers.
Yeah.
They're so spacious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but when I think of sewers and RPGs, for some reason I think of Chrono Trigger.
Really?
Like, I think of like the sewers in like the future world.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, what about like Mario? Like Mario is kind of defined by. I mean, you don't necessarily think of them as sewers necessarily, but they kind of are. The underground levels.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of part of it. They're never as fun as the other levels, but it's part of the Mario theme.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think like RPGs are like the main place I think of them as being like really atrocious.
Yeah, they can be mazy.
Yeah, I mean it's like such an easy, it's like you always just wait for it every game. We're gonna sneak in through the sewers.
Yeah. I want to say toward the end of Final Fantasy VIII Disc 1 when you go through the sewers in Delling City, like to get into position to assassinate Adia, and I want to say like you run to a lot of dead ends, and you got to find the controls for. I don't know. I'm not necessarily talking about Final Fantasy VIII here, but I'm just talking about like in general. You got to find the controls for the grate.
Yep.
Then you got to backtrack to find out which grate it opened.
Yep. Man, I'm fighting frogs here.
Got owls dropping like flaming pots.
Whoa, this guy's coming right at me. Oh, it's okay. That's what the deal is with him. Oh, there's the key. I got the key already.
Yeah, I mean, sewers is, I guess, kind of a lazy level design sort of.
Well, it's just
solution.
it's like such a padding, we'll make them do something in the sewers.
Yeah, it's a padding level. I can see that.
I mean, not so much here. I mean, this isn't a sewer; it's an aqueduct. You know. And in the water. Rip. The reaction to the new channel trailer seems to be pretty good.
Yeah. I'm so glad we got that done.
Yeah.
You can see a clip from the Night Trap episode in it.
Yeah. We thought it was, we kind of talked about this. I mean, you and I talked about it. Like, we thought it was really important to, as we're getting to the point where we really want to pitch documentaries as being a thing, that's why it was important for us to do it on the
just kind of
in the trailer.
We need just a fresh look for the trailer. I mean, we probably had that for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it just felt out of date, and I really wanted to, we sort of refreshed our Patreon page a little bit, and I really want to have a new trailer. Just because I feel like with a Night Trap episode, we're going to have a lot of new people watching us.
Yeah.
So I wanted, to be sure that our channel trailer and our channel page and our Patreon page, clearly reflected to people, who we are and what we do.
Yeah.
Before that Night Trap episode comes out. So both of us were just so busy, and I sort of started working on the trailer and didn't have time to finish, and then you kind of finished it up. So, but we were really unsure if we were going to have time to get around to it before we got the Night Trap episode out. So I'm glad we managed to do that.
Yeah, and I like that it has a little bit for our live streams on it.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That was a great idea. That's the live streams are just, I think they're a bit of a fun value added thing.
Yeah. Did you know that this is our 100th stream?
Is it?
It is.
Wow.
It's going to be the 100th one in our playlist.
Now, last week you played Shadow of the Beast, is that right?
Yeah, Shadow of the Beast and other Psygnosis games.
Okay, did you finish it?
No, no. It's Shadow of the Beast is notoriously hard. You only get one life, and there's no continues, and it's
oh wow, even the PS4 version.
No, I mean, what I did was I played the unlockable original version.
Oh, okay.
And you can even has an invincibility mode.
So you have beaten the PS4 version?
Yes. Please be. Oh, okay, it's not. Oh man. Oh, yep.
Container 7 says tonight was also the 600th episode of America's Funniest Home Videos and The Simpsons. How could those two shows both have their 600th episode in the same night? That's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I guess that makes sense, kind of. I feel like they probably started around the same time.
It was.
I'm kind of America's Funniest Home Videos. That was when I was in early, in elementary schools when it started.
Really, when you were in elementary school? I mean, I remember being in elementary school watching it.
Yeah, it was hosted by Bob Saget.
Right. There wasn't anything before Bob Saget, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
But then they had America's Funniest People, which was no, I was thinking of America's Funniest People, and they had the one that was really popular was that Jackalope.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it kind of popped in my head about the Jackalope recently.
Well, it did me too, because on vacation we were in a restaurant. They happened to be playing America's Funniest Home Videos, and that's the kind of thing that you just don't think about America's Funniest Home Videos every day anymore, you know? It's just kind of that thing. It's like, oh wow, that's still on, and you know, obviously it's very different from what it used to be, but it kind of just, it made me think, like, is there a place for American? Like, obviously there is, or it wouldn't still be on TV. But like, and I have not, you know, obviously I couldn't hear the audio, but it was on TV. You know, I haven't really watched. I can't recall having really watched America's Funniest Home Videos since the Bob Saget days.
Yeah, I mean, they had this. There's this other guy that does it now. I don't remember his name is though. I mean, I've seen it a couple times. Like, I'm surprised it's still on because, like, especially in the YouTube age.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because that's what I was trying to think when I saw on TV. I'm like, does America's Funniest Home Videos like have a place in the YouTube age? Because we all like spend so much time watching funny videos on the internet now.
Yeah.
Or at least we try not to, right? I mean, we're inundated with funny videos.
If you're gonna watch like a funny video like on TV, it's gotta be like a really funny video.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess I can understand, like, if they curate it well. Like, I can understand the appeal of, like, a curated funny internet videos thing.
Yeah.
You know, get to the cream of the crop. But
like, there's like that Tosh.0 show that has it, right?
Huh?
Like, there's a show like in Comedy Central, like Tosh.0, that's like the same deal. That's like just recaps like the really funny internet videos.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just it's funny. Like, but that, like, as a kid, that was like my favorite show for a time.
It was on Sunday nights. It was like before you went back to school.
Yeah, it was great. You know, I remember, you know, did you have to, when you were in elementary school, did you have to do like a pen pal thing?
Yeah.
You know, and I forget where our pen pals were located. They were like in Kansas, some school in Kansas or something. I remember writing to my pen pal saying my favorite TV show is America's Funniest Home Videos and Ninja Turtles.
Speaking of Ninja Turtles, I think I told you I watched Out of the Shadows the other day, and it was like pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you kind of liked the other live action one more than you thought you would.
I think it's because I went in with like completely low expectations.
Yeah, you told me it was good. I watched it too while it was still on Amazon Prime free. I thought it was fun.
I mean, it's not the first movie, the very first.
No. The first Ninja Turtles movie is amazing.
It's really, really good.
Like the thing, like you know, movies that I watched back when I was a kid, like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and Ninja Turtles comes to mind. You know, watched them while I was a kid, and then, you know, years later, you know, I guess I just like didn't really have any interest in revisiting them. And then like I like, you know, watched them again in high school. And like it was like watching them for the first time. Like just watching them with a totally fresh perspective, and it's like, holy crap, I like.
Oh, you know what this thing is called? This boss is called Pangdemonium. It's got to be a Pang reference.
Oh.
You get it though? Like the bubbles? It's got to be a reference to Pang.
It's got to be.
Clever.
But like out of all those movies, like I definitely expected Ninja Turtles to like have not aged well. But
no,
like,
I mean the original like aged like super well.
Yeah, it's like it really blew me away. I don't think I revisited that one until like after college. And like I was like, wow. Like I just like cannot believe how good this movie is. Now, something that is much more recent and is probably not aged that well. But I liked when I saw it. I think I only saw it one time though. Was back in the early 2000s, they made that CG Turtles movie.
Yeah, well, that was a sequel to the original movies.
Yeah, like it like had continuity with them and everything.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
Yeah.
I'm worried that if I watch it again, it like early 2000s CG movie may have not aged that well.
Well, I mean, I think there's something like that's very stylized. It wasn't an early 2000 movie. I mean, I feel like it was probably like 2007. It's not exactly early.
I feel like I watched it in college, but I could be wrong. But I mean, like
It was just called TMNT.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I certainly want to see the new Turtles movie just out of the novelty of Rocksteady and Bebop and Krang being it, which was my big disappointment with the Turtles 2. Like, now that I've not watched since I was a kid. I've got the DVD, but I just have been putting off revisiting it. Which I'm sure it can't hold a candle to the original Turtles.
Right. I mean, I didn't really care for the Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing it in theaters. I remember liking it, but being disappointed that it's like, why the heck are they introducing these, original mutants
When they have like perfectly fine mutants to use.
Yeah, it's like, come on, everyone wants to see Rocksteady and Bebop. Like, why make original mutants when people want to see Rocksteady and Bebop?
Right. Not Toka and Razar.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of, it was kind of the same situation. Well, maybe not exactly the same, but I thought of it at the time as kind of the same as like with the Super Mario Brothers movie. They've got like...
Have you watched that? You got the Blu-ray, right?
I do have the Blu-ray. I haven't watched the...
You haven't watched it yet?
No.
I think it's still pretty good.
It is. It is kind of good.
And I'm not just saying that because like I've seen it so many times, but
I mean, it's like it is a perfectly acceptable, like it is like an above average, like early '90s style adventure movie.
Right.
It's like weird as heck if it, as far as Mario is concerned, but it's like it's not a bad movie at all. It's like it's entertaining. I think it is an. It's fun romp.
Yes, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I think that's like.
It's not like I don't think it's an incompetent movie. It's like it's a competently made movie. I know that there's like lots of stories about how it wasn't really handled all that well on set and the directors didn't know what they were doing, but the final product I think comes together.
Yeah, you saw it in the theater, probably, right?
No, actually I didn't, but my parents gave it to me a couple years later. As just random Christmas present on VHS.
Too bad you don't have that VHS anymore.
No, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, cool.
I would be shocked if it was not at my parents' house. I should have done that today because because I was there because we got back from vacation to their house last night and then I came back to my house today. And I keep meaning every time I'm there because I'm kind of like sort of making a little small VHS collection now, of era appropriate movies.
Right.
And they got a number that I want to take and put on my little shelf I've got here. You've got the Treasure Konami boss here.
Oh yeah.
The ball limbs boss. But I'm almost positive I've got that VHS. The original DVD that was released for that. And this is the reason I never got it on DVD. Or did I? Maybe I did. But this is the main reason I wanted it for Blu-ray. The original DVD that was released for that was like widescreen letterboxed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well, yeah. So
bad.
like, it wasn't anamorphic. It was just.
Yeah,
it was 4x3.
It was a bad transfer. It was like it was 4x3 with the widescreen picture. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like the original Star Wars movies that were the version of Star Wars that the unaltered Star Wars that they released on DVD.
Did they do that?
They're 4x3, but they're letterboxed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like when you're watching like a PS2 FMV. You know what I mean? On HDTV.
Right. Yeah. Right. It just means they're not anamorphic.
Right. So it was not a good transfer. So that was one reason. So I'm curious to see what the Blu-ray looks like.
Well, they made a
really?
new.
Poker Press is saying that the original Super Mario Brothers DVD is a Laserdisc master transfer.
Okay, so that would make sense.
So I wonder, did they do another release of the DVD version? Like, I'm hoping that this Laserdisc or Blu-ray that I bought is a good transfer.
I'm sure it is.
I have not checked it out yet. But anyway, as a roundabout way of saying, what were the Koopa brothers called in that? Was it like, I think it was like Iggy and Spike?
I think so, yeah.
And it's like, why do you use one of the Koopa kids' names and then just like make up another? It's like, why didn't we just have like Iggy and Larry or Iggy and Roy or something like that? It's like come on, just give the fans the characters they want. At the same time, it's like, whatever, like that. But it's not a bad movie. It's really not.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be a good movie to have on VHS is Mortal Kombat.
You know what? I think I passed up a VHS of that recently.
Oh, you should have got it.
I know. It's just it's the only thing I was gonna get, and I had no cash on me. I can't justify using
your credit card for a VHS.
Yeah, for $1.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I feel like this can't be all there is to this guy.
Yeah, like I'm not really a Mortal Kombat fan, but I think the first movie is a lot of fun.
I remember when Dumb and Dumber came out on videotape, and I had a preview for Mortal Kombat before it came out, and I watched the movie, and I just watched the trailer over and over again for Mortal Kombat. I took it to all my friends' houses. I feel like you gotta watch this.
Now,
you know what's really funny is in the other room, like in one of these drawers, I have my movie ticket from seeing Mortal Kombat the day it came out. Somehow.
It's a shame, like modern movie tickets fade away.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Like they aren't like they don't make them like they used to.
Chapter 7. I'm getting close to the end. Look at this. I'm not beating it tonight, but I'm gonna come darn close. Well, this is kind of a nice looking level.
I feel like there's got to be something else beyond the edge of the screen, though.
You think so?
Oh, I mean, it looks like he just ends in a forest there.
Yeah, I don't know though. Maybe that's where I'm at right now. Whoa, look at this thing. That's pretty. I have no idea how much this game even costs on PSN. Like by itself.
Let's find out.
Probably not $180.
How much did you pay?
I think I paid $29.99 for it.
And it came with a soundtrack and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, was it a special box?
Yeah, it has like a. I mean, it has a regular PS4 case inside of it, but it does have a cart like outside box.
It is $11.99.
Oh. It's like a weird choice for a price, I think.
It says, explore Tolomera del Rey in depth through to 8 game stages.
Oh, so 8. This is 7. Oh, man, I wonder which way I can go. I can go take multiple paths. I'm going to go bottom. This is going to be, oh, okay.
Relive the glory of the arcade times with 10 different screen view modes.
10 different screen views?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, that's probably, I mean, calling them 10 different screen views. That might be that might be pushing it. It's, I mean, it's like, hang on. Is it raining now? Hang on one second. I was going to see how hard it's raining. I gotta make sure there's not a flash flood warning or something.
Oh, gosh.
Because that'd be like the worst. I probably would have heard my phone going off if that's the case. I'm going to go take a look. I'll be right back.
Have we played his other game, Curse of Isios, Castlevania clone? I've not. I mean, this was, until when Coury bought this game, that was the first time I was aware. But it does look like he makes some good games. And by some good games, I mean this game looks good, so I assume the other games that he makes looks good.
Yeah, it's really raining. We've needed it so bad. It's like been so like humid and hot here.
There was I got my work sends text messages when there's like thunderstorm warnings.
Mm-hmm.
And they added, I guess, some sort of new aspect to the system where they like call with like an automated message too. Where there's like severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado watch or whatever. And while I was on vacation, I got a voicemail, and I was like in the middle of nowhere. Like I like passed through somewhere where it like registered on my phone that I got a voicemail, but I was like for an extremely extended period in no service or extended network where I could not check my voicemails, and I was so nervous that it was because I get my phone through work, and I was like, as far as I understand, it's supposed to be unlimited data. But I was so nervous that this voicemail was going to be saying like, you're using a lot of data on your phone. What's going on? Because I was watching E3 videos and stuff, and half the time, the 4G is better than hotel Wi-Fi. Wow, this place looks mean.
Yeah, I think it's just because I'm not respecting it the way that it deserves to be respected. This little area here, I feel like.
I mean, it looks like a bit of a maze. Like, are these just short areas? Is there a checkpoint after every screen here too?
There's a checkpoint after every screen, yeah.
Because it looks like it
Maybe it's
wants it to be a bit of a maze.
It's very possible. I mean, I feel like this is repeating kind of. I mean, I got a key earlier. What I think needs to happen is you have to make it through multiple screens without dying.
Ah.
After you get the key. I'm gonna try and go the upper way this time, see if that helps. I've used 26 continues. It doesn't seem that bad, really.
No, that's actually... That doesn't seem that bad, no. Not for a game like this.
I'm gonna turn on my phone just in case the flash flood warning comes up. It's like a constant fear of mine now. Every time it rains, it's like, is my basement gonna flood again?
Ugh. You think you've got pretty fixed, right?
Well, I thought I did.
Keep an eye on it.
I thought I had it fixed. No, come on. I thought I had it fixed, yeah, but. Okay, so definitely not up, because that takes me back to this screen. But maybe it's good, because I need the fairy attack here.
The way that fairy attacks makes me think of something else, and I can't think of what it is.
I don't know. I'm hoping this rain will really cool it down, though. We've needed it so bad. Okay, we're gonna go through here, and back on this screen. So it's only one hit it takes to kill these things. Come on. Is this where the key is? There's the key. Okay.
So the key coming in.
Exactly. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do: is I'm going to get the key. I gotta make sure I have full health. But it's tough with these things. The way that they are. Yeah. See, it's not worth it if I have no life left. So we're gonna be at Too Many Games next week.
Yeah.
Have we really talked about it? Like this?
No.
Next stream we'll be streaming live from Game Days.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess. I wonder what we'll play.
I don't know.
I'll have to come up with something. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, Too Many Games. You know, I had another one of those dreams recently where it was like the last day of the con. I realized I hadn't really looked at the dealer's room. Which is like so ridiculous. That would never happen because that's like the main thing we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know which way I'm supposed to go. Okay. So this takes me back to this. So I was going right the very first time I went through. And our panel. So here's the thing. If I cannot finish the amount of Saturn I want to before the it's time for me to leave, because we're going on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't finish like a satisfactory part of Saturn, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody in the chat that will even be at our panel. But if Night Trap is not out, we're gonna show a portion of Night Trap, even though it's not RGB. I mean, I guess maybe we'll bring it and we'll gauge the feel of the room, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's hope it'll be out.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think you can get like, I mean, you just need to lock down like 3 minutes of Saturn, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be fine to take.
Yeah, but I mean, I only have the evenings to work on it, depending on how things go with this freelance stuff. If the freelance stuff is like kind of wrapped up, then I'm not too worried about it.
Thanks for pointing out that the date was not correct, Blade Blur. I just fixed it.
Oh, great. It should be correct on the
thumbnail.
Yeah, on the thumbnail though.
Oh, man, though. Video games.
Do I go up or down? I don't know if I should go up or down.
It's going to be a lot of them. Too many games.
Yeah. Oh, man, I thought I had... Oh, mackerel. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Get in there! Oh, oh man. Oh, jeez. That's Mendoza. Oh, Mendoza's evil. He's bad. I have to fight my friend.
Uh-oh.
No, Mendoza. Oh, man. It's going to be one of these where I have to watch him change every single time I fight him.
Ah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When you gotta...
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't seem too hard, though. There, I got him. Oh, I gotta fight them all? Oh, it's Don Diego. Oh, jeez, they're all cursed. Mendoza and Don Diego. I wonder how many there are. It's kind of gonna be like a little bit of a boss rush. Not only that, now I gotta listen to him every time. If anybody makes a game, don't make them do that. Okay. He looks Don Diego Mendoza. He looks like such a nice guy. And then his eyes are popped out of his head.
At least the flowers only take one hit.
Yeah.
If you land it.
Okay, so now Don Diego's dead. Okay, so it's a new screen. Oh, he buries them. They will pay for this, I swear. Oh, man. Oh, there's a big hunk of meat here.
Was that the Evil Dead, like, possessing his friends, basically?
Yes. Oh, who's this person?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to have to jump over those candles.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they look like it. I think there's a big hunk of meat over here. You know, it's Jeremy Parrish on his live stream series has come up with a very good name for like wall meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in Castlevania.
I mean, I like wall meat, so it's going to have to be something pretty good to win me over.
He calls it bricksket.
Bricksket. that is pretty good, but it's a little hard to say compared to wall meat.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, those I gotta avoid right there though. Those are spikes. Yeah, bricksket's pretty good, I think. If I was like slightly closer to the end, I'd be like, I'm gonna try and finish it. But I think
Yeah,
that
I bet the last level's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah. Blue fairy. It's like giving me a lot of. Oh, I didn't realize the loot multiplier was an item. Oh, more meat. Not quite chicken. Oh, come on. Oh. The juggle hits me, and then you think you're going to be invincible for a second when you land on those spikes. So does it feel good to be back? Be home, though?
I mean, it's only for a few days, you know. We'll be going. So yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's nice, you know. Hopefully, I can do something productive in a few days before going to too many games. I mean, I already sort of have because I've shot my portion of the Saturn video, which
feels good to have that done.
I don't know if I'll finish getting that ready for you tonight or not, but certainly in the next, you know, so hopefully tomorrow morning, unless something comes up for work.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have all day tomorrow because I won't be able to work on it until tomorrow night anyways.
Till the evening, yeah.
Yeah, unless I'm doing Night Trap.
I'm kind of excited, you know, so I did something sort of random for vacation. Because, so, I mean, I guess the full story of this would be that, you know, I had a Nikon DSLR, which is
right.
what a lot of the show was shot on early on. Like, so the earliest episodes, I was actually using my work camera, but I kind of switched over to using my personal Nikon, which originally I bought it just as a DSLR, just something to take photos with. You know, bought it several years ago. And then about a year and a half ago, it developed one or two dead spots in the sensor, which, I mean, that's unacceptable. You know, I mean, so that was, you know, I had been drooling over the GH4 and had wanted to upgrade, but, you know, that's a lot of money to spend when you don't have to.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I kind of had to. And it was actually really, the dead spots were really only a problem for video because they were so small for photos. So I was actually able to sell the camera and my lenses for a pretty decent amount of money. And I disclosed the problem with the dead sensor, but the person who bought it did not mind at all. So that turned out all good. So I was able to make a decent bit of money back by selling my Nikon stuff. But, you know, a big part of the fun of vacation for me is taking photos. You know, I don't like taking photos of people. I like it's kind of funny because sometimes I'll wait like a really, really long time, like if there's like other people around, like I have to just like wait for them to clear out the shot. You know, because I like taking landscape photos. I hate people in my photos.
Unless it's like a hand plugging something in.
Yeah, well, that's different. That's video. That's not a photo.
Yeah.
I don't like taking photos of people. You know, it's not what I do. I mean, I have to do that for work sometimes. You know, I want to take landscape photos. Dang it. And so anyway, so it's a big part of the fun of vacation for me is taking photos. But I was like, I don't want to take the GH4 because, like, for one, you know, I don't want anything to happen to it because it's like what I do video on, you know. So I don't want to take vacation photos on. And two, it doesn't have that satisfying feel of using a DSLR to take a photo. Like you know, the true mirror reflex mechanism Like that's taking a photo, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to take the GH4 on vacation, but I need to have a camera solution. So you know what I decided to do? I just decided for fun. I decided to bring my old film single lens reflex camera that it's not like a fancy expensive camera or anything. I mean, because it couldn't have been, because I bought it for photography class in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a bunch of rolls of film and used my film camera to take photos on vacation. I hope they turned out all right. I'll find out. There's a couple of local places, a couple of local camera shops that will develop film. And so yeah, I just did that for fun. But anyway, I say all that to say that I hadn't looked at that camera in years. In fact, it was at my parents' house, and I just didn't remember like the lens on it very well. And the lens has a macro function on it. Like it's a I think 28 millimeter to 90 millimeter zoom lens. And when you're at 90, you can flip this switch to do macro function, and you can like focus much tighter. And so when I realized that, I ordered a lens adapter, which is waiting for me at the post office.
So you can try it with your new camera.
So yeah, I just want to see like if I can like.
Have you tried it out yet?
No, I'm going to pick it up at the post office tomorrow morning because my mail's on hold.
What is going on with this part? There's like one bubble. I don't know how to avoid it. One bubble. It's like you think it's Bubble Man.
So anyway, I think, I was thinking about sometime later, like getting a macro lens. Because like with the 4K on the GH4 and GH5, like with you and I both use a 25 millimeter lens.
Right.
And with that, it's like, it's enough. Like with the 4K for like zooming in and getting really tight shots. You don't really need a macro lens anymore, like we did when we were using shooting 1080p.
Right.
But and I had a macro lens for my Nikon, but I sold it for like $400 or $500, I think. So it was definitely worth selling. But yeah, so I'm like, I think this macro lens, this macro function. Did you just live?
No, I was like, I choked, but I was like, I kind of
thought you had it.
Yeah, and then another bubble came out of nowhere. These bubbles, it makes me think of those old audio cassettes that I made.
Bubble Man.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if those will work though. The adapter.
Yeah,
because I should get an adapter just to get it for
your Canon lenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't think it's like an amazing lens or anything, but like, I think that's okay. Like, as if it's like a macro function that you're using on the lens anyway, like it's okay. I think if there's like a little bit of like chromatic aberration around the edges, sort of give it a bit of a dreamy look.
Yeah.
Because like everything else looks so crisp and clear, like I think it'll look cool. So I think I don't know. I just think it's gonna be interesting. So that might give me an extra lens to my toolkit unexpectedly. I had it all this time.
I mean, I have several lenses for my Canon. I wonder if I could just get an adapter. But the problem is you can't. It doesn't electronically talk to the camera.
Right, which I think that's fine.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna lure this over here. Boom. Lure that. Come on, it's right there. That's like gotta be it. So I'm gonna. I'm close. I'm close, man. It's like my hands
Yeah,
are...
that looked really close.
I mean, you can see what's going on there, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of figuring out where I need to go to lure them away. I probably don't need to like spend so much time. I think they follow you off screen though, which makes it a little bit tougher than. Okay, I mean this is the time.
All right, I believe you.
Oh, there's some thunder.
Yeah, I heard that.
What'd I say? Oh, now there's oh, come on. Come on, really? Is this what's gonna happen now?
Oh no, the boss was not on a different screen?
Come on, just... Give me that key. Can I make this jump, you think? Nope.
Oof. Oh no.
I got
no.
this. It's alright, though.
I think your fairy was the only one that was hitting it from the side of the screen.
Yeah.
I kind of like how those walking pots die.
Yeah, they just like turn into the...
Like crack and then like the ooze pours out of their eyes.
Here we go. This is it. Now watch me like lose power or something like that. Come on. I got it figured out though. And then what? My fat thumb was like pressing. I was holding up and it was like apparently hitting left at the same time.
Oh.
And I was trying to get rid of those things just in case there's an issue.
You've got it though.
Yeah. I know what I'm supposed to do. I already took a hit though. That's like kind of bad. I don't know if it's worth going on.
I feel though like things start going downhill. Like when you reach the point where you're like, oh, this isn't worth continuing. I'm just going to kill myself and start a new life. That's when things start going downhill.
Yeah.
That's pretty good how you figured out how to like train those bubbles in that last segment.
Yeah. Did
This
it.
boss is interesting for having no life meter. Like it's not even really a boss.
Oh man, it's like giving me a lot of items. Right there.
Uh-oh. That's a little worrying.
Is it Medusa? Mora. I killed her just as I knew she was going to have another form.
Yeah, that seemed too simple.
I watch her do her stupid animation every time. She's laughing. Oh, jeez. Took off her clothes. Okay. Not too hard.
Did you make it?
No. I think I get it. I can just do it without taking a hit. Or two. This stream is officially rated R now.
Well, I mean, you know, she's a snake woman. You can get away with it for snake women.
Yeah, Importer says it's My Life in Gaming After Hours.
Yeah, the Game Dave panel is going to be called Game Dave After Dark.
Yeah.
The what time is Dave's panel at Too Many Games?
It's like at 8:30 or something like that.
Saturday at 8:30.
Yeah.
That's pretty good panel time too, I think.
Yeah. Why didn't I even jump? Oh man. I just want to beat this level and then we can. It says no naked Medusa at my panel though. It's, you know, it's a throwing, like...
You think your laner sometimes, like, your laner be too close to you when,
yeah,
like, she jumps. And you get under. You need to be more cautious with that.
Man. It's just like a tough...
This is definitely the last part of the level.
Yes, I mean, this is...
There's no way it's not.
I wonder if she just like jumps when she gets kind of. Let me see if I can figure out her pattern, kind of.
You know, I think she jumps at a specific part of the screen.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, maybe not. It was definitely looking like it, though.
I can't even get to the other form now, but I'm trying to figure out like how to best make it through this part without losing any. Because I think I can make the other part without.
If you could make it through the first form without losing any health, then you could just it does it would basically.
I could probably tank it.
Yeah, you could just tank the next one. In some ways, the second form almost looks easier, though, but I guess it kind of gets you in a corner pretty quick.
Right. Man.
I think you can't let her, like, fall to the, like, closer to the center than you. Like, you need to be in the center.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like, if she jumps to the left side, you need to be on her right. And if she jumps to the right, you need to be on her left.
Man. It's so easy for her to push you over there, though.
Huh. Apparently, this Hyperkin HDMI NES has some reviews out, and, like, some palette colors are missing. Like, apparently skin color is white.
Really?
That sounds weird.
I cannot jump over her.
I almost wonder if that could be a color range issue, though, because, like, there's some color range issues that I never quite figured out with the Retron 5, so I don't know, maybe Hyperkin hasn't figured out something there. Oh, so she can transform into the snake form on the left side, too.
Right.
I thought it had to be on the right side.
So I gotta do it so that they're both on one side of me. Okay. I think I'm kind of getting a hang of it. So the audio is pretty rough. So that's interesting. I mean, a lot of people were kind of talking about it. I don't even know.
Hoping it would be a cheap option. I don't even know if it's emulation, if it's FPGA, if it's some sort of clone console that just happens to have HDMI. I have no idea how it works. I don't know anything about it.
There we go. Anyway, let's... If I could just make it to the other form with like more than two or more than one hit.
Yeah.
I just did, but
You got it.
I don't know about that.
You got it.
Oh, I would have had it right there, I think. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it.
Just don't let her get too close on the second form, for sure.
Right.
Just keep her back.
Here we go.
It's the time.
No, I mean, I only have one hit. That's not happening.
It's the time. I think you can do the last one with one hit.
Maybe. No. I can't let her get that close when she throws the fire. At least at least one time. Because I think
how do you make her not get that close though?
I don't know.
Maybe if she's that close, you jump over the top ball rather than between the top and middle ball. Like jump over the whole cluster, because it won't be spread so wide.
Maybe. Man, I can't imagine beating this game on 4 continues. But I mean, I guess once it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, it's learnable, I'm sure.
See, like now I'm like just thinking about like, man, what's the last boss gonna be like? But this is like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard, really.
I mean, to have come this far in, a little over 2 hours, like, that's not that hard. There are a lot of games that you couldn't have gotten anywhere near that close to beating in just over 2 hours,
Yeah. I think I have an idea of how to do this now. See what I'm doing, kind of?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slow but steady sort of method.
Right. See, I think I can trick her into shooting the fireballs high.
Oh, do they track you? Or your starting position?
Kind of, yeah.
Not that it matters because this is the time you've got it.
Did it.
Oh,
jeez.
Whew, that last set of fireballs is a little dicey, too.
I know.
Whew!
Oh, wait. It can only be opened with 5 Mora's tears. Damn. So I wonder if he just like leaves. Oh man, I wonder if we get credits. Yep, I got credits.
Oh, well,
a bad ending.
Bad end, but you can call it in.
That's like
this is the Super Ghouls and Ghosts ending without the princess.
So I like that the end is just like I can't go to the last area, so he's just like, damn, it leaves. That's like all of it, all that for nothing.
Well, you can mark it beat.
It's not truly beaten, but So I have to find things.
Credits, you got credits. That's B.
Yeah.
That's B. It's a bad ending.
And more especially to you for playing to the end. See you in the next adventure. There's a little bit more. Here it says, my king. The witch has fallen, but the key is missing. Poor Ramiro. The crusade has been in vain. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh! The king just, like, turned into, like... Oh, geez, this is, like, right out of Ghouls and Ghosts right here. Wait till you see what happens. It's, like, ripped from Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh, they got the firebrands and everything.
Yeah. The end with a question mark. 209.48. That's pretty decent. That's a really bad end. So he like. So the king was behind it maybe the whole time. Well.
But hey, what could you have expected from your first attempt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a cool game.
Maybe if you see it for, you get a good deal on it for $160.
Nah, it doesn't look that cool, sadly, but it looks cool.
I mean, I bet you'll get another print run if it's selling for that much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we went way over, but it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So next week we will we'll see you from Game Dave's.
Yeah.
And if we see you at too many games, say hi.
You'll see us there. Yeah. You'll see us sooner than that.
Come to our panel. Maybe we'll have something to show.
Otherwise, we're just gonna be wandering around buying games. So say hi.
Yeah.
Or try not to buy games. We'll see.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy games, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. The only thing I'm really after, like I said, is Urban Rain. Did I tell you I'm after a game called Urban Rain?
No, I don't think so.
It's the only game. It's just like a PS2 game. It's a Namco beat 'em up, a 3D beat 'em up. Looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I mean the list of things that I'm interested in looking for is just I don't even try to like contain it in my mind anymore.
Yeah, like if you just stumble across something, it's like, oh, I'll get that.
It's like, you know it when you see it, you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it'd be cool to get certain things. Like I remember, like the first year we went, I passed on a copy of Kadash for the TurboGrafx 16 for like $65, and now it's like $100. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, maybe you'll see Night Trap this week. Who knows?
Maybe
I'm not gonna even not gonna even get excited anymore. All right.
See you too many games.
Good night.